Welcome back to Minds Quotes, where we dive deep into the minds of extraordinary individuals to extract life-changing wisdom. Today, we're exploring one of the most powerful transformational memoirs ever written, Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. If this is your first time here, make sure to hit that subscribe button because we're about to take you on a 30-minute journey that could literally change your life forever. Introduction: The making of a warrior. David Goggins isn't just another motivational speaker or fitness guru. He's a living testament to the unlimited power of the human mind. This man transformed himself from an overweight, depressed, barely literate individual into one of America's fittest athletes, a Navy SEAL, and a record-breaking endurance athlete. But here's what makes his story truly extraordinary. He did it all by mastering his mind. The central message of Can't Hurt Me is brutally simple yet revolutionary. You're probably living at about 40% of your true capability. Let that sink in for a moment. Everything you think is your limit, it's just the beginning. Chapter 1: The Foundations of Pain. The Childhood That Forged Steel. David Goggins' story begins in the darkest possible way. Growing up in Brazil, Indiana, he endured systematic physical and mental abuse from his father. His dad would beat him for the smallest infractions, even just grazing the road after being told not to ride a bike there. This wasn't occasional discipline. This was hundreds of beatings that left welts on his back. But here's where Goggins' philosophy begins to emerge. He learned that life isn't fair and it's not supposed to be. While most people would use such a traumatic childhood as an excuse for mediocrity, Goggins used it as a foundation for something extraordinary. His mother tried to escape multiple times, but the police often believed the father over the mother in those days. Eventually, she managed to take David and flee, but the journey was harrowing. Their car broke down, hotels were fully booked, and she nearly turned back multiple times. This early experience taught Goggins that escape from difficult situations requires incredible mental fortitude, the formation of mental toughness. What makes Goggins different from other survivors of trauma is how he processed these experiences. Instead of becoming a victim, he began to understand that pain could be transformed into power. This realization will become the cornerstone of his entire philosophy. The childhood abuse created what he calls toxic stress that made him perform poorly in school to the point where he was barely literate. But instead of accepting this limitation, he began to see it as another challenge to overcome. Chapter 2: The Accountability Mirror. Truth Hurts. The revolutionary practice that changes everything. One of the most powerful concepts in Can't Hurt Me is what Goggins calls the accountability mirror. This isn't just looking at yourself in the mirror. It's a brutal practice of self-honesty that most people are too afraid to engage in. Here's how it works. Every night, Goggins would shave his face and scalp and get brutally honest with himself about where he was falling short. He would write down his insecurities, dreams, and goals on Post-it notes, tag them to his bathroom mirror, look himself in the eye, and tell himself the hard truths. Set specific, measurable goals. Hold himself accountable daily. The key insight here is revolutionary. The only way we can change is to be completely honest with ourselves. If you don't know something and have never taken education seriously, don't say, "I need to study more." Say, "I'm ignorant and I need to get my ass to work because I'm falling behind in life." If you look in the mirror and see an overweight person, don't tell yourself you need to lose a couple of pounds. Tell the truth, "I'm fat." Accept the fact and start working out, running, or walking. But do something. The power of brutal self-honesty. This practice isn't about self-abuse. It's about personal accountability. Goggins discovered that confidence doesn't come from a perfect family or God-given talent. It comes from personal accountability, which brings self-respect, and self-respect will always light a way forward. Challenge reviewers. Right now, pause this video and write down 3 brutal truths about yourself. What are you avoiding? What excuses are you making? What lies are you telling yourself? This is where your transformation begins. Chapter 3: The 40% Rule, Your Mind's Greatest Lie. The Science of Perceived Limitations. Here's one of the most mind-blowing concepts from the entire book. When you think you've reached your limit, you're only at 40% of your actual capability. This isn't motivational fluff. This is based on Goggins' real-world testing of human limits. Think about this practically. When you're doing push-ups and your muscles start burning, your mind immediately starts negotiating. That's enough. You've done good. Time to stop. But what Goggins discovered is that this is just your mind's default setting trying to keep you comfortable and safe. The 40% rule applies to everything: physical endurance, mental challenges, emotional resilience, professional goals, academic pursuits, real-world application. The next time you want to quit during a workout, studying, or any challenging task, remember you're only at 40%. Push through that initial resistance and discover what you're really capable of, breaking through mental barriers. Goggins proves this theory through his own impossible achievements. When he decided to join the Navy SEALs, he had to lose 106 pounds in less than 3 months. When doctors told him his transformation wasn't medically possible, he did it anyway. Later, when he decided to run ultramarathons with no training, he completed 100-mile races and even broke the Guinness World Record for pull-ups. Each time, he pushed past what his mind told him was possible. Chapter 4, Callousing Your Mind, the Art of Mental Conditioning. Seeking out discomfort. One of the most counterintuitive lessons in Can't Hurt Me is this: you must actively seek out pain and discomfort. Goggins says, I sought out pain, fell in love with suffering, and eventually transformed myself from the weakest piece of shit on the planet into the hardest. This isn't masochism. It's strategic mental conditioning. Just like calluses form on your hands from lifting weights, you can build mental calluses by consistently choosing the harder path. The comfort zone trap. Here's a truth that will make you uncomfortable. Comfort zones don't just limit growth. They kill it entirely. Most people hatch their biggest dreams and goals when they're comfortable, but they pursue them only while they remain comfortable. The moment things get difficult, they retreat. Goggins developed a different approach. He brainwashed himself into craving discomfort. If it was raining, he would run. When it started snowing, his mind would say, get your running shoes on and get ready for a run. Practical implementation. Here are specific ways to callous your mind. 1. Do something that sucks every day. Take cold showers. Exercise when you don't want to. Study when you'd rather watch TV. 2. Choose the harder path. Take the stairs instead of the elevator. Walk instead of driving when possible. 3. Embrace bad weather. Don't let external conditions dictate your actions. 4. Practice delayed gratification. Wait to check your phone. Postpone that snack. Finish the task before the reward. Remember, the worst conditions create the best training conditions. Chapter 5, The Warrior Mentality. Being the One. The Philosophy of Exceptional Performance. Goggins references an ancient quote. Out of every 100 men, 10 shouldn't even be there. 80 are just targets. 9 are the real fighters. And we are lucky to have them, for they make the battle. But the one is a warrior. This isn't about superiority. It's about personal responsibility. The warrior mentality means taking complete ownership of your life, never making excuses, pushing beyond what others consider reasonable, maintaining discipline when motivation fails, being willing to suffer for your goals, mastering your mind. Only you can master your mind, and that's what it takes to live a bold life filled with accomplishments most people consider beyond their capability. This is the core message of Goggins' entire philosophy. Your mind will constantly try to negotiate with you. You've done enough. This is too hard. You can start tomorrow. You're not cut out for this. The warrior learns to recognize these thoughts as just thoughts, not truths, not commands, just mental chatter that can be overridden. Chapter 6, Taking Soul's Psychological Warfare. The Power of Mental Domination. One of Goggins' most intense concepts is taking souls, the idea of pushing so hard that you break the mental will of your competition. This isn't about being cruel. It's about demonstrating such exceptional commitment that others question their own limits. When Goggins would show up to ultramarathons with no training and still outperform seasoned athletes, he was taking souls. When he would do extra workouts while others were resting, he was taking souls. The psychological edge. This mentality applies far beyond physical competition. In business, academics, or any field, the person who's willing to do what others won't has an enormous psychological advantage. Think about it. If you're in a meeting and you're the only one who's done extensive preparation, you have a psychological edge. If you're the student who studies while others party, you're taking souls academically. Chapter 7. The Cookie Jar, Banking Mental Victories. Building Psychological Reserves. Goggins introduces a powerful concept of the cookie jar, a mental collection of your past victories that you can draw from during difficult moments. When you're in pain, exhausted, or ready to quit, you reach into your cookie jar and remind yourself, I've overcome hard things before. I can do it again. How to build your cookie jar. 1. Acknowledge your victories. Don't minimize your accomplishments. 2. Remember specific details. The more vivid the memory, the more powerful it becomes. 3. Include all types of wins: physical, mental, emotional, professional, personal. 4. Update regularly. Add new victories as they happen. Examples of cookie jar moments. The time you didn't quit when everyone expected you to. When you learned something difficult. Moments you helped others despite your own struggles. Times you chose discipline over comfort. Chapter 8. Turn adversity into fuel. The alchemy of transformation. Here's one of the most powerful concepts in the entire book. When you're driven, whatever's in front of you, whether it's racism, sexism, injuries, divorce, depression, obesity, tragedy, or poverty, becomes fuel for your metamorphosis. This isn't about pretending bad things are good. It's about extracting power from pain. Goggins learned to use every obstacle, every setback, every form of adversity as motivation to become stronger. The fuel formula. 1. Acknowledge the pain. Don't pretend it doesn't hurt. 2. Accept responsibility. Focus on what you can control. 3. Extract a lesson. What can this teach you? 4. Channel the energy. Use the emotion to drive action. 5. Transform through action. Let your response change you. Remember, your response to adversity defines you more than the adversity itself. Chapter 9. The Power of Visualization. Mental Rehearsal for Success. Goggins emphasizes the critical importance of visualizing success before attempting difficult challenges. This isn't wishful thinking. It's mental preparation that programs your subconscious for victory. Before every major challenge, Goggins would visualize the entire process in detail. Imagine potential obstacles and his responses. See himself succeeding despite difficulty. Feel the emotions of victory before achieving it. Practical visualization techniques. 1. Morning visualization. Spend 10 minutes each morning visualizing your day's success. 2. Challenge-specific preparation. Before difficult tasks, mentally rehearse success. 3. Obstacle planning. Visualize problems and your solutions. 4. Emotional preparation. Feel the satisfaction of accomplishment before you achieve it. Chapter 10. The Uncommon Amongst Uncommon. Being exceptional in your world. Goggins has a powerful message. You don't need to be like him, but you need to be uncommon in your own world. This means setting higher standards for yourself than others expect, doing what others won't do, maintaining discipline when others make excuses, pushing limits in whatever field you choose. The isolation of excellence. Here's a hard truth. When you commit to excellence, you'll often be alone. As Goggins says, people will tell you, I don't like being around you. You make me feel like an underachiever. This isn't about making others feel bad. It's about refusing to lower your standards to make others comfortable. Chapter 11. What if you're going through hell? The temporary nature of pain. Goggins teaches us that everything in life is a mind game. No matter how bad the pain gets, no matter how harrowing the torture, all bad things end. The key is remembering this truth when you're in the middle of suffering. Strategies for enduring difficult periods. 1. Remember the temporary nature. This too shall pass. 2. Focus on the next step. Don't think about the entire journey, just the next action. 3. Use your cookie jar. Draw strength from past victories. 4. Reframe the experience. Ask, how is this making me stronger? 5. Stay present. Don't add to current pain by catastrophizing future. Chapter 12. The Accountability Mirror returns. Daily practice of self-honesty. Throughout the book, Goggins returns to the accountability mirror because daily self-honesty is a foundation of all growth. This isn't a one-time exercise. It's a lifelong practice. Advanced accountability practices. 1. Weekly reviews. Assess your progress and setbacks honestly. 2. Goal adjustment. Update targets based on new information. 3. Excuse elimination. Identify and eliminate recurring excuses. 4. Strength building. Focus on areas that need improvement. 5. Celebration planning. Acknowledge victories to maintain motivation. Remember, be hard on yourself, but also celebrate your successes. The Goggins Challenges, Practical Applications. Challenge 1, Bad Hand Assessment. Write down your life's challenges in detail. Don't be vague. Include everything that has held you back. Then realize that this is your starting point, not your destination. Challenge 2, Accountability Mirror Setup. Set up your own accountability mirror. Write your goals, insecurities, and dreams on Post-it notes. Face yourself daily and hold yourself accountable. Challenge 3, Cookie Jar Creation. Write down 10 to 15 significant victories from your life. Include details about how you overcame challenges. Keep this list accessible for difficult moments. Challenge 4, Discomfort Practice. For the next week, do one thing daily that makes you uncomfortable. Take cold showers, exercise when you don't want to, or have difficult conversations. Challenge 5, 40% rule testing. The next time you want to quit something, push 25% further. Test your actual limits rather than accepting your mind's first no. The science behind Goggins' methods. Neuroplasticity and mental training. Modern neuroscience supports many of Goggins' insights. The brain can be rewired through consistent practice and challenge. When you push through discomfort repeatedly, you literally change your neural pathways. Stress inoculation. By voluntarily exposing yourself to controlled stress, like cold showers or difficult workouts, you build resilience for involuntary stress. This is called stress inoculation, and it's scientifically proven to improve performance under pressure. The power of self-talk. Research shows that how you talk to yourself directly impacts performance. Goggins' brutal honesty followed by positive action creates a powerful cycle of self-improvement. Criticism and balance. The dark side of extreme. While Goggins' methods are powerful, it's important to acknowledge that extreme approaches aren't for everyone. Some critics argue that his methods can lead to burnout, injury, social isolation, obsessive behavior. Finding your balance. The key is adapting Goggins' principles to your life. Start gradually. Listen to your body. Maintain relationships. Seek professional help if needed. Remember that rest is also productive. Applying Goggins' principles to modern life. In your career, set goals that make others question your sanity. Volunteer for the difficult projects others avoid. Develop skills during your free time while others relax. Take ownership of failures and learn from them. Push through when motivation fades. In your health, exercise when you don't feel like it. Choose nutritious foods when junk food is easier. Get enough sleep even when entertainment beckons. Address health issues before they become serious. View physical challenges as mental training. In your relationships, have difficult conversations instead of avoiding them. Apologize when you're wrong, even when it's hard. Support others through their challenges. Set boundaries and maintain them. Choose growth over comfort in your interactions. In your personal development, read challenging books that stretch your mind. Learn new skills that intimidate you. Face your fears systematically. Practice delayed gratification daily. Seek feedback even when it might be painful. The transformation timeline. Immediate changes first week. Increase self-awareness. Better understanding of your excuses. Small wins and discipline. Enhance motivation. Short-term progress first month. Improve physical fitness. Better mental resilience. Stronger daily habits. Increase confidence. Medium-term growth 3 to 6 months. Significant physical transformation. Mental toughness becomes natural. Others notice your changes. New opportunities emerge. Long-term mastery, 1+ years. Complete mindset transformation. Extraordinary achievements become normal. You inspire others through your example. Life operates at a fundamentally different level. Common mistakes to avoid. 1. all or nothing mentality. Don't try to implement everything at once. Start with one principle and build gradually. 2. Ignoring recovery. Even Goggins emphasizes the importance of recovery and proper nutrition. Push hard, but also rest smart. 3. Comparing your beginning to someone else's middle. Goggins spent years developing his abilities. Don't expect instant transformation. 4. Neglecting professional help. If you have serious trauma or mental health issues, seek professional support alongside implementing these principles. 5. Losing sight of why. Remember that the goal isn't suffering for its own sake. It's becoming the person you're capable of being. The ripple effect. Impact on others. When you start living by Goggins' principles, you don't just change yourself. You change everyone around you. Your family sees what's possible. Your friends are inspired to push their own limits. Your co-workers witness a new standard of excellence. Building a legacy. The book isn't just about personal achievement. It's about becoming someone who lifts others up through your example. When you refuse to accept mediocrity in yourself, you give others permission to expect more from themselves. The real message of Can't Hurt Me, beyond the physical. While many people focus on Goggins' physical achievements, the real message is about mental transformation. The running, the military service, the extreme challenges, these are all tools for forging an unbreakable mind, the ultimate freedom. When you master your mind, you achieve the ultimate freedom, the freedom from your own limitations. You're no longer constrained by fear of failure, need for comfort, others' opinions, past mistakes, imagined limitations. Conclusion, your Can't Hurt Me journey starts now. David Goggins' Can't Hurt Me isn't just a book. It's a blueprint for human transformation. The principles we've covered today have the power to completely reshape your life, but only if you implement them. Remember the key insights. You're operating at only 40% of your capability. Brutal self-honesty is the foundation of all growth. Discomfort is the pathway to strength. Your mind can be your greatest enemy or your most powerful ally. Past victories can fuel future achievements. Adversity can become your greatest teacher. Your next steps. 1. Start your accountability mirror practice tonight. 2. Write down your cookie jar victories. 3. Choose one area where you'll push past 40%. 4. Embrace one daily discomfort. 5. Stop making excuses and start taking action. The Goggins Standard. As we wrap up this deep dive into Can't Hurt Me, remember that you don't need to become David Goggins. You need to become the best version of yourself. Use his principles as tools, not as an exact template. The question is whether you can transform your life. The question is whether you will. The choice is yours, and it starts right now. If this video has inspired you to start your own transformation journey, hit that like button, subscribe to Mind's Quotes for more life-changing content, and let us know in the comments which Goggins principle you're going to implement first. Remember, at Mind's Quotes, we believe that extraordinary lives are built one extraordinary choice at a time. Your extraordinary life is waiting. It's time to go get it. Stay hard. Stay hungry, and we'll see you in the next video where we continue exploring the minds that matter most. Don't forget to subscribe to Mind's Quotes and hit the notification bell so you never miss our latest content. Your future self will thank you.